Good morning. It is Friday. What is today? It is the 21st. It is April 21st, Friday. It is almost 10. Oh, I guess I clicked it a little bit early. Lots of stuff happened. Let's see. Mandalorian dropped. The last episode of Mandalorian, last episode of Picard. I got my proofs. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And let's see. Yeah, just a couple other things. But just getting my tea ready. Now, I actually have... well, let's just talk about the books. Good morning, Rob, sir. How are you? Now, there are two versions coming out. Really, the only difference, the material is the same, but the innards are different. And of course, you get a different color. So like here, this is the regular book. You can see it's kind of a glossy cover. This is a proof. I didn't have anything on the back, but the new ones, I actually have a like text on the back and everything. So I kind of like the gloss. Now, when because the limited edition is in color, see those nice, now those are kind of muted colors. I have a third copy coming to me of just the limited edition. It is out for delivery right now. So I wish it was here already, but it was funny. So I ordered it and then I uploaded a bunch of new material. So I'm wondering if they printed off from what I put in or from the new material. So I will find out sometime today. But anyway, this one is a matted cover. And I did a matted cover for the neck pinch book, but yeah, it's okay. I kind of like the glossy covers, especially like this. The mute is really, it doesn't, the colors don't pop. Like here, the colors pop a little bit more. At least I think. So, and then this one is just regular white paper with color. The new ones, now, this is what's going to make this a little bit better. The new ones are on premium paper, so it's going to cost a little bit more to produce, but I have a feeling that these are going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm like super, super excited. When I got, so, you know, you always get a proof just to see. So I'm sitting here going through and I just noticed like little things, like there wasn't a lot of stuff. Now I did get my foreword from Harvey, so that has been added. So the book is complete and ready to go. I'm just, you know, April 24th, Jim Korn's birthday. That's the magic day of it going live. So, but I was just, you know, reading it, just a couple, you know, words here and there, underlining of the titles of books, just like some consistency in everything. So it actually wasn't too bad. I did miss, of course there are, and then there was this section kind of right here where it just didn't read right. So of course I redid that. And then, let's see, there was something else. What was it? Oh, I had not misplaced. Well, misplace as in losing something versus misplacing a QR code. I placed the wrong QR code on the wrong page. So, because I went through and I scanned every single one of them. And then there were just, you know, just some minor updates. So book is book is ready. Like, book is ready. And then of course, when I ordered proofs, this episode didn't even exist. Now it does. So I had to, so that's in there. So yeah, this is all, I'm very, very excited. Oh, T-minus 1 hour before the first blade etching test. So Rob is he got this laser etcher, and he's been, we've been talking about some of the progress and his trials and failures and successes in like etching glass. And anyway, so for Bram's 70th, I was not able to find a laser etcher out here that could do a good job. So he's like, oh, hey, by the way, I just got this new toy. So I sent him a crimp because the crimps are going to be laser etched with a certain logo. So anyway, so he's got one. He's going to play with it. There's 2 different types of laser etching that he can do. So he's going to do a logo on one side using one style, and a logo on another side using another style. And because honestly, for me, as long as it's etched and it'll stay there, I'm good. But since there's 2 different ways you can do it, we're going to do it 2 different ways, and then whichever one comes out the best, that has the best result, that's the one that we're going to do. So yeah, so that's a thing. I'm super excited to see how that will turn out. So let's see. That's some good tea. This is my first cup of tea this morning. I was up at my normal time, but I just didn't have a cup of tea. So let's see. I've actually pre-sold a couple of these. Well, more than a couple. I've pre-sold a couple of the specialty packs that come with a crimp and a whatchamacallit, and a compressor trainer from Tack Knife. And then I've sold a number of these books, and officially now this book is sold internationally. So kind of excited. So yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I made this little promo video for the Q-Show information guide, and I wanted to do another one for this. So I did this little video, and I was looking just for background music, nothing special, just some background music. And I had grabbed some royalty-free music off of YouTube, and Rob had shared some royalty-free music with me, and I just, I just couldn't. And it really wasn't for the promo. This was dating back to the mini instruction videos that the QR codes in here go to. I just, even the stuff that he sent me, I just wasn't happy with any of it. And so I chose this one that it wasn't great. Rob, how did you describe it? What was it like? Corporate training video music. So if you've ever watched any corporate training video, it was that corny. Yep, that's how it was. That corny, but in a way it worked. Like the beats worked. It was just kind of that corny 80s, not even 80s. Well, maybe 80s. Yeah. So anyway, so I edited 35 videos with that little section of music. And when you get the book, or if you ever see any of the video, you'll know what I'm getting at. But when I did when I did the promo for this, I went back to the stuff that Rob sent me, and the first one I clicked on, I was like, that's the music for the promo video. Like it's just like, that's the one. And the more I, as I edited the video and, played the music and because one of the big things about music and video is that when you have like edit cuts or movement, it really should go with the music. It just makes the experience better. So I'm listening to this music over and over again, trying to get the right spot. And I'm like, this would make great music for the little piece in each training video. So I went back and I went back and this is funny because like I'm ready. The book is ready. So I didn't delete anything off my computer or off my I have this external disk, but I hadn't deleted anything, but I did archive all of that information. So I had already moved it over to one of my archive hard drives, and I'm going to have to re-archive because I changed 35 videos. And it really wasn't that. I mean, it was time consuming, but one of the cool things is that I use Vimeo as a host for my videos. And one of the really cool things about Vimeo is that I can replace the video. So I didn't have to upload everything new and then get new QR codes and all that. I just went in, and it was kind of time consuming because you have to do it per video. I go into the video, replace, go into the video, replace. And it worked. Like it was, again, time consuming, but I got it done. So of course I open up my books and I'm scanning each video again to make sure that I uploaded each individual video correctly. So that was fun. But yeah, so lots and lots of work have gone into this. Oh yeah, and I sent I have a friend of mine who I do a lot of crimp stuff, or not a lot of crimp stuff with. I have a friend of mine who in CSSD, not Bram, somebody else. He has to remain nameless because he's a Fed. But I sent this to him, sent him a kind of a preview PDF, and he's just like, "That's amazing! Like, that's super freaking cool." He knew that I was working on it, but he hadn't seen anything. And part of the Naihanchi history that I write up for the book, I actually got some of the stuff from him as some of the reference material. So it was one of those where I was like, this is freaking cool. This is absolutely freaking cool. So anyway, so he loved it. He thought it was really cool. No, not Elliot Ness. But he's like, that's a great thesis for your next Don. And I was like, what do you mean? good evening or good morning, whichever it is. Emmett, how are you? But no, he was like, this is a great thesis paper for my seventh dawn. And I'm like, well, yeah, that really isn't up to me. But so yeah, I don't know. It might be. Mark, are you watching? Or Jim? Anyway, so he's he actually was like, he is I don't know, it's he called me on the phone last night and we talked for like an hour about this and about rank, and he thinks that I'm a little bit behind in rank. So but whatever will happen will happen. So there you go. Let's see. Jim sent me a ton more video. Well, not video, a ton more audio. So so now that this is going, that this is completed for the most part, then I don't need to focus on this anymore, and I can focus on Jim's book. Let's see, back to another first night of jiu-jitsu tonight. Hopefully no more obstacles this time. It's all new to me, but miss competing since my kickboxing and judo days. Right on. You know, I was thinking about before COVID hit, there was a BJJ place, not really up the street from me, but it's a couple miles away, that inexpensive. And I think it's inexpensive because they actually share the gym with a what is it called? Oh, they're kind of like vegans. What is it called? I can't even think of the name. Anyway, so they share a gym. They share gym space with CrossFit. They share a gym with CrossFit people. So anyway, so I was like, oh, you know, they had trainings on days that I wasn't working, and I was like, cool, I could do it one day a week. Just, you know, because my ground game is not the best. I've done like this much jujitsu. So so I thought that might be fun. And then of course COVID hit, and it's just kind of back down there. Yeah. CrossFit, the vegans of fitness. Well, okay. So the joke is, you know, everyone knows that joke. It's like, how do you know somebody's a vegan? Well, because they tell you. Well, how do you know somebody does CrossFit? Because they tell you. Like, I don't know about Aikido. I don't, and it might, well, I don't know. I mean, some of the Aikido people I know don't really talk about that they do Aikido, but then I guess early on there was a group of Aikido people that I played with for a little bit where they would introduce themselves as doing Aikido. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's let's see. Yeah, I want to start from scratch. This is from Emmett. I want to start from scratch and compete, see if I still have it. Midlife crisis moment. Hey, I mean, it's like the best time to start anything is now. Really, it truly is. The best time to start is now. Why not? Why not? You know? So and my whole thing is like me being a Kempo guy, a standing guy, and all the stuff that I do, I would actually want to go in there just completely like, yeah, I And being honest, like I know like three, in fact, I know three positions. I can never remember the name. Like, what is it? The side guard, the I don't even know. I don't even know. Anyway, but I'd go in there just like, yeah, me, I don't know. I don't know anything because, empty my cup to fill it up again because I don't know anything when it comes to that. So, but there are some people that stop in the school, and I just have this in my school where they come in, they talk, they're interested in classes. Of course, I never see them again, but it's one of those where it's like, I just have this feeling they are a martial artist and they're just kind of like, they just kind of want to be like, hey, does this guy know anything? Like it I don't know. It's I just get that feeling. So I don't know. All right, Emmett. Yeah, but being 40 in a gym full of kids my age, I was told I compete in the Masters by one of the guys who then told me that's the old guys. That's funny. Well, Dan Anderson, he still competed. I mean, like he came out of retirement and competed, and I can't remember how old he was. I mean, it was probably, I don't know what, 10 years ago. So he was probably in his late 50s, early 60s, and he competed. Of course, that's what he did. Like he competed in karate, not something new, but he still competed against, what is it? Basically people his age. The group wasn't as big as, the younger guys, but he still did it. And of course he walked away with medals. Morgan, good morning, sir. Vegans need to stop telling people they're vegan and are the next best thing to kosher meat for cannibals in the apocalypse. Absolutely. I had a friend of mine who, when I was still working, still had my 40-hour gig. He's like, hey, can you make me a shirt that says like vegans, guaranteeing grass-fed meat for the apocalypse? And I'm like, I love it. I think that's great. At age 35 or 53, I still do full contact stick fighting. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like I know some people who are now, to say old, like I'm 50. I will be 51 in a couple weeks. Not a couple weeks, couple months. I don't consider myself old, but I look at people who are 20 years older than me and they're dying. People who are 20 years older than me who don't move well. But then there's Dan Anderson. Like he's got so much life and energy, and it's like he'll be 70. He's already 70. His birthday's in November. So he's I don't know, 70 and a half, I guess you could say. I want to move like him when I'm his age, like totally, like just, yeah, I just, it's, and I think I have put myself, I believe I've put myself into a good position where if I'm still teaching and I'm still moving and I'm still stretching and I'm still exercising, that will be a reality. I've never really been a competition person. So, I did do a little bit of judo for a while with a step uncle of mine, and one of his things was to get yellow belt, or maybe it was to belt after yellow belt, you had to compete, and that was just part of the thing. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that's the culture, I mean, it's be more like I'd be in it more for the fun, not for the win. So I don't know. And I don't honestly, I don't know what different, the different jiu-jitsu schools out there. I don't know what their rules are when it comes to competing. I'm just not a martial arts sports guy. So like, if you're going to put me in either because when I was doing judo, I was looking for what points can I hit? Like, how can I manipulate this person while I'm on the ground and make my stuff more effective? Let's see, Emmett. When I did a 35 plus, when did 35 plus become the old guys in martial arts? Back when I was a teen, most of the dojo were 30 plus and unbeatably talented and fit. I would say when martial arts became very kid centric. I don't know how it is in Ireland. I do know in America, if you want to have a successful martial arts school, you have to, and not just a side hustle, but that be your thing. Like if, Brandon Beliso talks about becoming, a martial arts millionaire. If you like, he's out in, where is he? He is out in Boston at Marco Mazzullo's school. They're doing a grand opening. While he's there, he's doing a, what do you call it? He's doing a, oh shoot, can't remember what it's called. A time live thing while he's there in Boston. And I so wanted to go. Like, I so wanted to go. Like, I was going to hang out with a buddy of mine. Asa lives out there. So I'd hang out with him, go to the, go to the grand opening. I would do the, do the time live. I mean, it is offered virtually. So if anybody is really looking to run a school, like, do the time live, like virtually or live. I'm hoping to go to San Francisco this summer, but cross my fingers I can afford it. But anyway, so he's out there and he was doing a live thing from Marco's school. And I can't even remember where I was going with that. Oh, he was talking about like the size of the mat and how many dots, because Marco has dots on the mat for, where all the kids stand. And so, like, based on what Marco charges for membership, basically he was kind of breaking it out where it's like, okay, there's 46 dots on the mat. Each dot is like, if you had a kid coming twice a week, each dot is worth about $30 or so. And then you multiply that by 4 weeks, and then you multiply that by 12. So you end up it ends up really coming out to about $20,000 a year or $20,000 a month. And then, or maybe it was 24. Anyway, it was like, if you were going to make $1 million off of, $1 million a year off of one location, you'd have to anyway. So he really kind of broke it down, like 46 kids. So now to have 46 adults come twice a week, I don't know. So if you really want, if you want a martial arts school to be, that's how you make money. And that's kind of where I'm at. You focus on the kids. And I think focusing on the kids, rounding back to when the 35 plus become an old guy's martial art. If the focus is kids, whether it's sport or self-defense, then yeah, 35 plus is going to be, that's where it's going to be. So honestly, you know, I saw myself teaching little kids, and I knew that's where I had to go. My thing is how do I keep the integrity of my art and not make it a daycare? So of course I do have a Young's class, the Young Artisans class, but and it's not really daycare. I mean, we focus, you know, we do punches, but we focus on like life skills, balance, manners, respect, body control. We, you know, yeah. So we're building that little foundation, and then you can get in, once you're, you know, of age, then you get into the more serious stuff. And of course, the older you get, it's even more serious. So like, you know, I was in one class, I do this drill where it's one hand, it's a, what is it? It's a Kyusho drill that Mark Klein came up with, and it's one-handed. So the hand comes in, you parry down, and then you go up or here, and you go, you know, knife to the bicep. So, or, you know, middle strike. Well, I'm really not going to teach a kid to go middle strike to the face. But I am going to, or maybe even open palm to the under the jaw, but I might come down and then palm to the ear. So yeah, it's just kind of where it is. Let's see, Morgan. There's a private video of Grand Ton fighting one of his Tons at age 82, full contact, mask only, no gloves, and he hands his students their butt on a plate. At that age, he still kicks butt. Yeah, I mean, I think if you just continue, here's the thing, if you stop moving, you die. That's kind of where it is. So if you still have movement, I think you'll go on almost forever. Harvey, sir, how are you? I'm sure you've seen pictures. I have more. I have one more coming. I made some changes and then ordered a second one, or ordered a third one, mainly because this is so these are the black and white photos. They actually turned out really nice. They're nice and bright. The color though is a little faded. I mean, it's good color, but it is a little faded. So I reordered it using trying out, what's it called? Premium white paper. So and I know that I know the premium white paper, that's actually what the hardback books use for whatever you call it, my decoding kata book. So, and those are in color, and those they're nice bright. So love it. Looks great from Harvey. Yes. So I'm super excited. I was hoping to have the newest one to show off, because but it is what it is. We will see. And then let's see. So we got that. So when it comes to the kids' books, that's my next kind of big project. I think the last report, Jim, good morning. Hello, everyone. So the last report, and Jim, Jolene uploaded all the audio last night. So I have already downloaded that, and I'm going to start transcribing it today. While I make popcorn, because I'm doing this craft fair that I'm handing out popcorn at. So I'll be doing two things at once. So we'll get going on that. And then, let's see, we have, what was I going to say? Let's see. I forgot what I was going to say. What was I talking about? All right. So that'll come back to me. Back on this book, QR code right there. So Dan thought it was a great idea, loved it, started putting it in his books, and started calling them visual readers. I'm about branding. And so I was like, okay, well, yes, there's too many, well, I wouldn't say minds. There's not too many minds. There's too many voices in my head. And squirrels, I guess you could say. So I'm about branding. So I was thinking on this book, what I was thinking on this, and for stuff that he does, why don't we put a little logo down in the corner, or maybe, back here somewhere that basically identified it as a visual reader book. So I came up with, and I'll, let's see. Nope, not the slides, share the screen window. So I came up with this. Okay. So I came up with this, and it's not bad. I kind of liked it because it's a book with a QR code, eyeball, and then there's a little QR code in the eyeball, and it's identified as a visual reader. And in my first iteration of it did not have visual reader on there. It was just the eye with that. And I shared that with Dan, I don't know, a couple months ago. And he's like, he wasn't too excited about it. He's like, I don't think about that stuff, but it is what it is, And so I just kind of left it alone. And so I posted that on Facebook with a little explanation, and boom, here it is. He said that, let's see, Dan actually commented that he would think it looked better with two eyes, because the one eye looked a little bit creepy to him. And what was it? And then Matt Brown, he's another martial artist who is an artist. He actually did the graphics for my birthday cards that I send out. He actually he was like, I would change the eyes. So I was like, what about the eyes? And so when Dan said that it would look better with two eyes, Matt agreed. So this morning I changed it just a little bit, and I did it with two eyes. So this is what it looks like. This is what I did with two eyes. And I posted this already on Facebook. I don't know. What do you think? Like one eye or two eyes? Like, and I didn't even, let's see. Let's see. Let's blow this up. So we have one eyes, or, oops, make it smaller, or, yeah, two eyes or one eye. Yeah. So I agree that the two eyes are a little bit creepier than the one eye. Yeah. So I don't know. So anyway, so I posted that underneath Dan's thing saying, hey, here it is with two eyes. And then and then what is it? Shoot. And then I also reposted it with both of them in the disruptors thing to say, hey, you know, this is what this is. What do you think about this? Well, let's see, what did Rob said? Maybe just lift the single eye up further above the book. Okay. Ooh, and I just thought about this. Two eyes, it's creepy art. It's a creepy art. Oh shoot, yeah. That I could do, it would be like you bring the eye up and then do visual reader like around the eye instead of visual reader like it is. You do visual reader around the I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that and see. I think that might look pretty cool. Yeah. Ooh, or I could do visual under the eye and then drop reader underneath. That, okay. So I think I know a couple different things I'm going to work on. Anyway, so that's kind of, but the two eyes, the two eyes just don't, yeah, it just looked like I put, and I don't know. So, I mean, I want it to be, I'd like it to be universal because I don't want it just to be for my books or for Dan's books. I want, and if I start using it, I want Dan to start using it. I want other people to start using it. So anybody who starts putting QR codes in their books and calls it a visual reader. In fact, I even went as far as thinking I should just buy a domain name called Visual Reader and then just be like, hey, list your book here, use the, and use the logo. So, and just, give it away for free. So, and so then you actually have this list of books and where you can buy them that are visual reader books and just kind of start that. But, and the reason I'm kind of, I kind of pulled people about it is Dan was like, he's like, yeah, I don't know. He didn't really like it in the beginning. And I think that's probably why he never told me originally that it was the two readers, but he was like, why don't you just pull people? And it's like, well, it is, I don't know if McDonald's really pulled people about their logo, but it is, it is, it's good to get feedback because I want something that isn't creepy, that is visually appealing, but also identifiable to anybody that people can identify with. So, market research is good, but at the end of the day, it's your call. From Rob. Yeah, no, it truly is. Yeah. Jim says, I agree with Rob. Yeah, no. And I get it. And I'm the first person to say that it's my stuff. I get to, I don't care what other people think, but this is kind of a thing where, I would like Dan to be on board as well. So, but I think also thinking about this from a marketing standpoint is that putting the logo out there and being like, hey, what do you think? And then showing the generation of the logo and saying, okay, here it is final. that'll bring the concept of visual reader and the logo and the identifiability to it for more people. So I think it'll help help in its reach. So even though, yes, it is my call at the end of the day, I'm going to add a little bit of Dan in there too, because it is his term. I think that I think polling people, I think that's putting it out there just a little bit more outside of my audience, outside of his audience. So anyway, and just as a quick, let's see. And currently, what? Visualreader.com is not available for registration. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I ever really checked. Seriously? Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Visual-reader.com is available. -reader.net, thevisualreader.com. Let's see. Visualreader.org, but .com and .net are taken. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. Let's see what other stuff. Oh, yes, that's right. I was talking about kids' books. So I finally got in touch with my nephew, like direct, because I had been basically talking to him with interactive reader. I actually kind of like that, but visual reader is Dan Anderson's. That's a term that he came up with. And that's kind of why I was running with that term, mainly because, from the QR codes from the QR codes from, that I came up with the Q Show information guide. Dan Anderson loved that. He just was like blown away by how innovative that was. So he started doing it for his books, and that's where he kind of said he kind of coined the term "it's a visual reader." And so then I was like, well, I think visual reader, I think it needs a logo. So that's kind of how that went. Interactive visual reader. That's kind of a tongue tie for me. I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll talk to Dan with. Maybe rebranding, rebranding with a video. I initially I had forgotten that he had called it a visual reader, and I thought he called it a video reader, which makes a little bit more sense, but yeah, so I don't know, but that's definitely stuff to talk to him about. I think I will kind of work on different ideas with the logo though. And I will put them out there for people to comment on. Let's see what else was I going to say? Oh, the kids' books, back on that. So finally got direct in touch with my nephew, because he has a cell phone now. So he and I talked, and he was interested in doing it. And I sent him pictures. I sent him the script for the alphabet book, and I sent him pictures because he's not a martial artist. So I had to kind of explain some stuff to him. And he sent me the first one, and it was just kind of a silhouette of the picture I sent him. And I was like, that's a great silhouette. I need more detail. Like, it's a kid's book. It's just not going to be black and white stuff. And because he actually does some really good work. And I'm just like, do it like you do it, like detail. You can make it cartoony. But then, he's in 8th grade. It's coming towards the end of the year. He's got exams. He's trying to get into, not my high school that I went to, or my sister and I went to the same high school, not our high school. He's going to, he got into Jesuit, or he's trying to get into Jesuit. That's where he wants to go. Out here, Central Catholic and Jesuit are, when the two football teams play against each other, when basketball, like any of the sports teams, when they play against each other, they call it a holy war, because we are rivals. And we're not even in the same, I mean, that was like 30 plus years ago for me, but the two schools are not in the same conference. They're not in the same sports league. So when they're basically out of league games, that's the holy war. It's just like Oregon State and the University of Oregon, playing against each other. So, so he decided to go to a competing high school. Still love him. He's a great kid. But with all of that going on, he's like, I really want to do this, but this is going to end up being too much work for me and all the other things that I'm doing. And so I said, I totally understand. I get it. No worries. There will be future projects. Trust me, there will be future projects. So I reached out to, and I just got another order. Let's see. I know I'm playing, cool. Just another regular book, but another book pre-sold. Another book pre-sold. I love it. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What was I saying? Anyway, so I reached out to Bobby Stroop. Yeah, like soup. Stroop. So I reached out to Bobby Stroop because he had sent me some art, and I've seen other stuff he's done. He's really good. And I said, hey, nephew ducked out. Would you be interested? So he and I had a little meeting yesterday, and he's like, I'm super busy, but I think this is going to be great, because I told him, I said, I want to start with the alphabet book, and then I want to get into these other things. So we talked about what stuff should look like. And he is a martial artist, so I don't have to go into detail. I can just be like, A is for Aikido. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally have a visual, I totally see what Aikido might look like, or capoeira. Like he knows what he like the stereotypical looks, or, what the moves. So I don't have to explain any of that to him. He already knows. He already has so really the only thing I had to explain was just my concept for the art. What did I see that would still blend like what my vision is and what he can do, like his art style. So and we just talked yesterday, so I don't expect to see anything from him anytime soon, or at least like in the next week. But I'm super, like, I am even more excited now that Bobby's going to be part of this project. So, but I told him about Dojo the Karate Kitten and those stories, and that, we can incorporate some of those characters into the alphabet book. So when you get Dojo the Karate Kitten, you have characters that you recognize. So yeah. I think this is it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm so looking forward to it. So that's just something out, another one on the horizon. Um, uh, I I don't know. Like I have outlines and notes for other stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of out there. It's just boom. So I'm excited. Now, Star Trek. Has anyone seen Picard? I know Rob has because Rob and I talked for like 2 hours yesterday. Uh, yeah. So, not going to talk about it today, like the details, but let's just say, what an amazing finale. Um, I ended up watching both episode 9 and episode 10, like one right after another. Usually the episodes had been dropping about 11:30 my time PM. And so I don't know, it was about 10:30 or so. So I'm like, oh, I'll just watch episode. I had planned to watch episode 9, but I didn't know, should I do it Thursday morning? Should I do it? When should I do it? So I was like, well, I'll just do it now. Like Lisa was asleep on the couch. I'm just going to do it. So I do it and I watch it, and boom, when that episode's done, the next episode is available. Oh my God, the two of them, what a fantastic show. As a whole, probably the best season of Picard so far. I did enjoy season 2, but season 3 far outshined season 2. I do have my nitpicks. It was 10 episodes, but could the story have been told in 6, 7, or 8 episodes? I think so. I don't think that I think they stretched, and because like episode, 7 and 8 were really bad. Like, bad writing, not a lot of movement. Like, I don't think that there was a lot of movement forward in the story. Both of those episodes could have been one episode. Yeah, it just, I think there were some episodes they just kind of stretched a little bit that, just not, yeah. But, I still have questions on certain things. Rob and I talked lots and lots about that yesterday. But overall, not to discourage, it should not be missed. Watch the entire thing. If you haven't watched it, episode 1 through episode 10, just binge watch it in a day or 2 days, if depending on how much time you have. Just absolutely amazing. I probably saw episode 9, like I think I'd seen it like 3 times before I saw, and then I watched it a 4th time before watching 10. I still cried. There were still scenes in there where I still got teary-eyed. And there was some scenes in episode 10 where like, yeah. So, great show, guys. Off to Europe and Scandinavia on Tuesday. Cool. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jim is going to be, he's going to be doing some seminars, over in Denmark and Germany and all over the place. So, and Asa is he's going to be over there too. So, it should be a fun time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go. Someday I will go, travel Europe with Jim, but unfortunately it's not going to be now. Yeah. Such a great way to end the chapter and begin a new one. Yeah. Cause I mean, it really is a great way to, it really does set up the next generation, the next generation. They've been talking about that. Like, this story is about the next generation's next generation. And, it sets up perfectly things. And if anybody had been paying attention to the show, I don't know, even watching our me and Rob, when we did the first 5 episodes, or even like when we talked about, when we talked about, like even that first episode or the first 2 episodes, and what we saw, what we predicted. Yeah, we kind of predicted it pretty well. What we saw as what we were basically calling what would be nice to be called like Star Trek Titan or something like that. So not exactly what we predicted, but we were really, really close. Yeah. We were pretty damn close to a lot of things. So, but just a great series. Now, Mandalorian, I did not watch episodes 7 and 8 back to back. I still plan on doing that, simply because when I watched episode 8, for me, it was like, what a good episode. Like, that was really, really good. It's probably the best episode of the season. But I still was like, okay. Like, I just, whatever. Yeah, it was just another episode to me. The whole season for me, Mandalorian season 3 is just kind of, like, I don't know. It just wasn't but I will say the last episode is actually a really good episode. Rob said that he watched episode 7 and then 8 together. So, so then it just made it better for him. So that's what I plan to do. I plan to watch 7 and 8 together, back to back, just to kind of, because sometimes you just need to do that. And then, and that's kind of why I did 9 and 10 of Picard. I know watching, because episode 9 was awesome anyway. So I knew episode 10 was going to be awesome anyway. But like, they were showing episode 9 and 10 together in the theaters at select theaters, which of course I could never figure out which theater it was in Seattle, because my ass would have driven up there. But yeah, so just amazing. So yeah, so I plan to watch it. Of course, Rob, made a difference watching the last 2 episodes together, Amando. So if you haven't watched it, watch it, because at some point my ass is going to start talking about it. And, even though like right now it says that I have, like one little eyeball there in the sky, at some point, I don't want like 10 people to be on here, me talking about Picard, and then it just drops to 1 because nobody wants spoilers. So at some point, yeah, my ass is going to talk about it. So anyway. So let's see. I think that's all the news that's fit to print. Like, I am going to be doing a popcorn thing. I canceled classes for today. Really only have one. I have my Friday night modular class, and then I have a which is online, and then I have a Friday night. What is it? Friday night modular class, and then I do free Fridays. So I just open the dojo for anybody to come in and we play. So that has not been a big hit, but I have not really been advertising it like I should. So just another thing that I need to do to advertise, but and then next Saturday, I'm canceled classes for Saturday. I'm going to be doing all day popcorn carnival outside. It's supposed to be like, here it has been cold and muggy, and we get temperatures of like 55 and we're like, it's going to be so warm today. But I will say it is predicted to be in the mid 70s next Saturday. And I am so excited, like so excited. You just like so excited. So anyway, there you go. Of course, the tea is just being finished, but yeah, that's all. If you haven't bought my book, buy my book. Let's see, Florida winter for you next week. I have always said that I would love to live in a place where it rains at night, is sunny, and what is it? I'd say maybe 75 to 80 degrees, right in there. That's perfect temperature, but it rains at night. So you have no rain during the day. And, I tell that to my dad and other people. It's like, oh, come to Florida. That's what it is. Like, yeah, but Florida has hurricanes, and they have these big storms comes in, and it rains during the day. Like, the humidity, I don't do well in humidity. So, I mean, I could definitely get used to it. But not, yeah, I don't know, but it is what it is. So, there you go. Love to you all. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't bought my book, again, buy the book. Comes out on the 24th, Jim Corn's birthday, the 24th. April 24th. And in fact, that is, since it's the 21st, oh my gosh, that is 3 days away. So, wow. All right. One last thing from Rob. Hurricanes aren't a big deal. The summer storms for that hour mid-afternoon can be rough. Yeah. Having to buy hurricane shutters for the house, so the glass doesn't blow into the house. I kind of like not having to have those. The other thing is I actually have thought about buying them, at least for the lower half. So like the worse America gets, I can at least, shut those hurricane shutters and then secure the house a little bit more. But then out here, at least, I might look like I'm a little bit too extreme. Oh, depends on where you live in. If you need them, Central Florida, we don't need them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, where Bram is and where my father is, you do need them. Yes, South Florida is a must. So, okay. Anyway, love to y'all. See you, Rob. Thanks for everyone else who tuned in, and I will see you next week.